Hey, it's Rabbi Mark Wilds coming to Central Park. It's a beautiful day. Happens to be my mother's yard site, the anniversary of her passing. So with your permission, I'd like to dedicate my words of Torah for this coming Shabbat right now in her memory. Her Hebrew name was Pesel Avigail Bat Menachem, so this should serve as an aliyat neshama, an elevation for her soul. The Torah tells us in this week's Parshat Toldot, that Isaac was 40 years old when he got married. And when it describes Isaac's wife, Rebecca, it mentions that she is the sister of Lavan, the daughter of Bethuel, from this place called Padam Aram. And Rashi, the great biblical commentator, asks, why does the Torah have to tell us who her father was, who her brother was, and the place where she came from? If you remember in last week's Torah reading, we had the whole incident where they first met, and we found out all that information last Shabbat already. Why does the Torah have to repeat it? And Rashi tells us, great biblical commentator, that even though she came from the house of Bethuel, her father didn't have a very good reputation of being honest, and we know all the stories about her brother Lavan. Padam Aram also did not have a good rap. It was not a neighborhood that was filled with the right kind of values. And even though she came from that kind of place, from that kind of home, from that kind of neighborhood, she still became the great Tzaddiket. She still became the great Rebecca and the second of the matriarchs that we had. And it's therefore, as Rashi says, lahagid shvacha, by mentioning her background, her sordid past, if you will, the Torah is giving her praise. And what we're learning here is that whereas we might make a big deal about our yuchos, who our parents are, the family we come from, the fancy neighborhood we come from, what really matters in the end is what you make of yourself. And even though I am really blessed to have come from an amazing family, and my mother was an incredibly righteous person, we named and dedicated MG in her memory, she gave me the values to understand that it wasn't my past really that's important, it's the future. It's not what I was given, but what I do with what I was given. And what any of us does in our life, we are not judged by our lineage, by our ancestry. We are judged and evaluated by what we do, the actions we take in this world. And therefore, what's much more important, as much as we make a big deal in Judaism about our past, and I have this great yichus, and my grandmother was this, my grandfather was that, most important is what you make of yourself. And that's the greatest legacy that my mother had, which was that she gave my brother and I and our family the values to be able to build something for ourselves, of course based on the past, but to take that and do something positive for the future. Shabbat Shalom, and Shabi Ilui Nishmata, an elevation for her soul.